But something that was in hip-hop news today or this past week that hasn't been music, NBA Youngboy versus Jay Prince. So allegedly NBA Youngboy, his house got robbed and the people returned the items to Jay Prince. If you haven't heard that story, definitely go look at some videos on YouTube, get up to date. We definitely don't want to lose Youngboy, and we definitely don't want to, see Jay Prince, on Instagram flaunting items. The whole thing to me looks like a stick up. I got love for Jay Prince and what he's done for hip hop, Rap A Lot Records. I got love for Youngboy. I think Youngboy is a Southern hip hop legend, even at the young age that he's at right now. He's done so much already, giving us great projects, really developing into his own style. It just seems like, weird for Jay Prince to go on the internet, go on Instagram, which is something you would expect someone NBA Youngboy's age to do, and flaunt these items that were stolen from Youngboy. To me, it kind of just looks like extortion. For Jay Prince to go on the internet, claiming mob ties, openly saying, mob ties, mob ties this, mob ties that. To be that open, to do it publicly, just seems like some police stuff to me. So salute to Jay Prince. Again, we got love for Rap A Lot. We don't want to see anything happen to Youngboy. We want to see him mature in hip hop, and we definitely don't want to see Jay Prince on social media in internet beef. So that's not where we want to see our legends. But anyway, I won't spend too much time on that. That's not really my business, but it is something that people have been leaving comments about, so I did want to speak on that. But more importantly, Kanye West. So a new Kanye West leak came out. I wasn't really feeling it too much, but it got me thinking about what are my favorite Kanye West albums. Kanye's early work is the best to me. Once he started getting into the Life of Pablo, and he did Nas's album, he produced Nas's album, which wasn't good, the Nasir album, it really got me thinking, I really haven't enjoyed a Kanye West project in almost a decade. I haven't thoroughly enjoyed a Kanye West project in over a decade. The last Kanye West project I fully enjoyed was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Before that was Watch the Throne. I actually think Dark Fantasy came before Watch the Throne. But as far as the stuff he's been doing recently, the Ye album, the 7 albums that he did in 2018, I did like Daytona. Kids See Ghosts was cool. I see people, really going up for Kids See Ghosts. I thought it was just okay. They had some really good songs. Reborn, the title track, Kids See Ghosts. Kids see ghosts sometimes, spirits. I love that song. Love that whole vibe, but as a whole album, it kind of just felt unfinished. It felt kind of rushed. On the intro track, there's a section where they're just going gunshots. It's just unlistenable to me. I haven't really enjoyed Kanye West's music, and I don't hate it. There are songs on Life of Pablo that I liked, but as far as thoroughly enjoyed front to back albums that I revisit, it's been a while. When Kanye drops, I'll listen. Kanye West is dope. My favorite Kanye West album, The College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, Dark Fantasy. I like those, but his more recent stuff, Yeezus, I gave that a favorable review. You can actually go watch that review. It's one of my earlier videos. I was still in school when I did that. No facial hair, what I'm saying? Real green. Wasn't really feeling a lot of those albums, so. But albums like Life of Pablo, I don't revisit that. I might go back to a couple songs. I couldn't even name the songs that I did like. It's not an album I revisit personally. So, salute to Kanye though. When he drops, we're gonna listen. He's one of our legends. And when he's not here anymore, that's gonna be a loss that's really felt. So I know a lot of people tried to cancel him for the Trump stuff. I don't necessarily vouch for that. I don't really respect that. But, I do respect Kanye West as he is the legend. So I don't want to necessarily say that Kanye West fell off, but I'm also not going to pretend like I'm liking his music. It's been 10 years since I really enjoyed something. But again, I wouldn't say he fell off, because every time he drops, he kind of reinvents his sound. It's never the same thing. It's always something fresh, something new. But this is a guy that, is not really writing his own rhymes all the time. Obviously, we've heard interviews where Rhyme Fest has come out and said he's written for Kanye. He's not really producing all of his own beats all the time. It's a lot of co-production. And this is someone who we fell in love with his soul samples and the way he does things, but he's just not really doing anymore. But for me, it's hard to say that Kanye fell off, because he's still right on top. He's still right at the top of rap. But musically, a guy that just looks at the music like me, again, I'm not replaying these albums. These albums are not in my rotation. So, you know, shout out to Kanye. He does a lot for us in hip hop, you know, with his clothing line and, you know, with the artists that he puts on, good music label. But you know what I'm saying? We gotta just call it what it is sometimes. Now, y'all know on this channel, I say it all of the time. There's so many people that lack West Coast hip hop knowledge that are in hip hop media right now. I'm talking about all of y'all. I'm talking about all of y'all. Strangely enough, the person with probably the most hip hop knowledge, West Coast hip hop knowledge, that's a major player in hip hop media, surprisingly, DJ Glad. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Glad. And y'all know, y'all probably found my channel through my DJ Vlad video. It's DJ Vlad a Culture Vulture. You know, Vlad actually blocked me over that video. I didn't really say anything about him. I just titled the video as the Culture Vulture. I didn't go in on him in the video. I just played audio from a bunch of other people who were calling him a Culture Vulture. Joe Button, Jay Electronica, Dame Dash, etc., etc. Anyways, DJ Vlad is probably the person with the most West Coast hip hop knowledge, strangely enough. A lot of people just lack the knowledge. If they know TDE and they know Dr. Dre. A lot of these folks don't even know Snoop. You know, I had the conversation. Someone said online that, you know, Wayne has more, you know, songs that resonate than Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's one of the most recognizable figures in hip hop. Probably the most popular rapper ever, to this day still. You go worldwide, you say Snoop Dogg, you show his picture, people can tell you identify that's Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? So there was this whole conversation, Wayne versus Snoop Dogg. To me it's no question. Like, it's no question. So anyway, I decided let me compile a list of my top West Coast rappers of all time. So, all right, so any West Coast list is going to include Tupac. I don't include Tupac on my list because he's not from out here. He's from New York. So I didn't include Tupac. If we wanted to include Tupac, Tupac would be number one. But number one, I got Ice Cube. Ice Cube, just the discography, starting with NWA, you know, to America's Most Wanted, The Predator, Lethal Injection. Ice Cube has it all. He has the political raps, he has the hit records, he was a force during his time, he has the influence, and he's still going. When you talk about businessmen in hip hop, rappers turn businessmen, you gotta put Cube right next to Jay-Z. Number two, I got Snoop Dogg, the discography, and it's more than just Doggy Style. And that's where people get it messed up. It's more than just Doggy Style. I'm talking about The Dogfather, I'm talking about The Last Meal, R&G. You know, those albums with Drop It Like It's Hot, with Beautiful featuring Pharrell. You gotta include Snoop. Number three, E40. Now I know a lot of people hate on E40, a lot of people have a lot of things to say on E40, only on Twitter though. You only see this type of stuff on Twitter, strangely enough. Number four, DJ Quick. So DJ Quick to me is the best triple threat of all time. Rapper, producer, engineer, DJ Quick is that guy. Safe and Sound album, Balancing Options, Born and Raised in Compton. He could be a lot higher on this list. And he's produced classics like Street Gospel by Sugar Free, Above the Law. DJ Quick is that guy. Probably the greatest rapper producer of all time. Number five, I got Nipsey. So, and Nipsey could end up being higher on my list. And it's not just because he died in a tragic way. Nipsey has the mixtape catalog. Nipsey came out and united LA in a way that you'll ever see few rappers do ever. He had the movement and he had, again, the business acumen, the influence. Nipsey could easily be higher on this list, but he's definitely in my top five West Coast rappers of all time and one of my most played rappers. Right under Nipsey at number six, I got Kendrick. Kendrick with TDE. The way Kendrick initially came out, he was crowned King of the West. If y'all remember the concert with Corrupt and all the legendary West Coast hip hop artists, they came out when Kendrick had just started. You know, he was still early in the game, and they crowned him. You know, it was a real emotional moment. And Kendrick has always carried that golden child type of energy with him. He drops great albums, great conceptual albums. When Kendrick's career is all done and over with, we're gonna look at him as one of the best rappers of all time, and one of the rappers who has the best conceptual albums. He has themes, he has concepts in his albums, and he connects them in a way that few people do. So right under Kendrick at number 7, I got Game. So Game used to be one of my favorites at one point. You know, the things he kind of does outside of music kind of brings him down for me, but I can't front on what Game did. Classic mixtape discography. You know what it is, mixtape series, the GU Not mixtapes, the Stop Snitching, Stop Lying mixtape and DVD, the documentary. But you go on the internet and people really love those late Game albums. I'm talking about the documentary 2, the documentary 1.5. A lot of people really rate those highly in Game's discography. You know, I don't. But with Game, for me, at the Red album, that's kind of when I kind of clocked out. But hey, shout out to Game. If you like his music, he's not a bad rapper. He just kind of lost his style to me. He started sounding like other people, and the content just kind of, you know, what else can you say? You know what I'm saying? At number 8, below Game, I got Mozzie. So Mozzie could end up being higher on this list also. You talk about discography, Mozzie has, I would say, damn near 100 mixtapes and albums, all fire. He's a guy that really has his own signature style. Make sure you go watch my Beyond Bulletproof album review. That's a review that I did, not a reaction, a review. So I got a chance to sit with that and really take the album in. I think I heard Mozzie first time was Blotted Eye, and I was in the Bay. He was the biggest thing in the Bay. I thought I was on my hip hop stuff. I thought I knew what was going on in rap. I went to the Bay Area. They always have a whole separate set of rappers who they mess with and who they consider the greatest. And at the time, Mozzie was the greatest. He has not fell off to me. He just dropped his best, my favorite project that he's done, in my opinion, his best album this year, 2020, Beyond Bulletproof. So Mozzie would be number 8. Number 9, I got Too Short. Too Short's a guy that could be higher. I've never been a huge fan of Too Short's rapping style, but you can't deny what he's done in the game. Albums on albums, he's got discography. He's been here since the 80s and he's still here. So we've got to show love to our living legends. For sure, one of the best out of the Bay. You the best out the Bay, that means you're one of the best in West Coast history. So I gotta have Too Short there. Number 10, I got 4 possibilities at number 10. You could call this my 10 and my 3 honorable mentions. I got Ice-T, Dub C, Corrupt, and Exhibit. So Ice-T, one of the original gangster rappers, he could easily be higher on this list as far as what he did for, you know, West Coast hip hop, you know, putting his culture on, really showing people what it's like out here. A lot of OGs, their introduction to West Coast hip hop was Ice-T. So you can't have a list like this and not include Ice-T. Dub C in the Mad Circle. I really rank Dub C highly because his style is just so unique. You can't really imitate that flow, the kind of stutter flow that he has. He did it, Dub C in the Mad Circle, he did it with the West Side Connection. Dub C is a guy who you can't really imitate that. I've never heard anybody successfully imitate Dub C style. Corrupt, gotta include Corrupt. I would like to include Daz too, but I don't know if Daz has the solo discography that I would look for. But Corrupt, probably one of the illest lyricists out the West. When you talk about just putting words together, stacking multis, syllables, things of that nature, Corrupt, one of the best to ever do it. New York, New York is one of my favorite songs ever. And lastly, Exhibit. So shout out, I forget who on Twitter, I posted my list on Twitter and they're like, how could you forget Exhibit? Yeah, that's correct. How could I forget Exhibit? Exhibit definitely deserves to be mentioned. The Light of Speed album, again, one of our great lyricists, and he's been around for a while too. A lot of people just know him for Pimp My Ride, but I think that's great that Exhibit was able to continue his career and get into film and all that good stuff. So Exhibit, you gotta include him at the very least as an honorable mention. So yeah, that's my top 10 West Coast rappers of all time. Q, Snoop, E40, Quick, Nipsey, Kendrick, Game, Mozzie, Too Short, Ice-T, Dub C, Corrupt, and Exhibit. That's 3 honorable mentions. So number 10, y'all can put them in whatever order you like. But if you think you got an iller top 10 than that, let me know. Notice I didn't include Dr. Dre. You gotta write your own rhymes to be on my list. Dopest producers, Dr. Dre will be on that list. And no Tupac on that list either. So I mean, let's see what y'all got. Let me know. Top5rapwebsite.com. Peace.